Buddy, don't you love recycling? I love recycling. In fact, as soon as this show is over, I'm going to go and recycle right after this show. This is what I do for fun. Every once in a while, I get just, I sit around in my house and I'm like, fuck, I'm bored. I walk around, I stare at the wall, I fucking bash my skull against the fucking drywall, and then I think to myself, oh, I know what will be a fun pastime. Let's go round up the crew and let's go recycle. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Anyway, here's the news story. Indiana recycling plant fire being monitored for asbestos. Expected to burn for several more days. This is a story from either yesterday or the day before. Officials are conducting a 24-hour air monitoring to check for toxic debris from the fire. And then we got this fucking shit, man. I mean, that's pretty good. That's video that I love to see. I just love going on the internet. Oh, what's going on with my fellow humans today? And then they show me this fucking photo. I mean, yeah, all right. A massive fire that broke out Tuesday afternoon, at a plastics recycling plant in eastern Indiana is expected to burn for several more days as officials monitor the air around the clock for asbestos-containing materials and other toxic debris. The EPA said Wednesday about 2,000 people who live within a 0.5-mile radius of the scene remain under evacuation orders Wednesday evening. Why is this what's going on here, man? And here's a little fun fact for you. You might not know this. Most plastics are actually not recyclable. 99% of plastics, I don't know about 99%, I'm making up that statistic just to be clear. You can look up the actual statistics. I actually think it's somewhere around 95%, something like that. But again, do your own research on that one. Of plastics that we quote unquote recycle don't actually end up getting recycled. So, but, another thing is that plastic companies they love recycling because it's a campaign that allows people to feel less bad about the fact that they consume goods that have plastics heavily involved. Like, for example, do you buy soda, juice? Do you buy bottled water? All of these things have plastic involved for no reason, and a lot of these things say that their products are recyclable, but they're actually not. Or maybe you'll be able to scrape a little bit out of there for recycling, but the point is that most recyclable plastics, quote unquote, are actually not recyclable. It's just a psychological operation to convince you that buying and using plastics is actually not as bad because you get to recycle it, right? So, there you go. That's some little information for you. Of course, do your own research. Things may have changed since I learned that. Residents of Richmond, Indiana, who live outside of the evacuation zone are advised to take safety measures, including closing windows, turning off air conditioning, and keeping pets inside. I don't know what the closing windows and turning off air conditioning and keeping pets inside. What is that supposed to do? They always recommend this, smog warning, close your windows, stay inside. Where do you think the inside air comes from? Where does it, if it's a temporary thing where it's going to last a couple, maybe an hour, 2 hours, maybe, right? But it's if this shit is going on for several days, you think that you've got 3, 4, 5 days worth of oxygen in your house? And you can, by the way, the idea that you just close the windows and there's no more oxygen, air circulation between the inside and outside, that's also really funny. But the idea that, this is going to do anything for several days? What? I don't know, man. What the fuck? But hey, whatever. The fire broke out at 2 warehouses that contain large amounts of plastic recyclables for reselling. Fire Chief Tim Brown said Wednesday that the plant had previously been issued a citation on the basis of unsafe building and unsafe grounds due to floor and ceiling plastics that were inside the buildings. What the fuck? So, this is another thing. We live in this society, and we're going to get on the grand scheme thing here. So just open your mind, elevate yourself for a moment here. We live in a society where you can issue a citation. What does that mean? Right, so we pay people to do inspections on buildings. They go to the buildings, inspect them, find issues, and then leave and say, all right, now you got to fix them. Does anyone see the problem with this whole thing? If the citation is issued for unsafe building and unsafe grounds, maybe you should fucking fix it. Right? Maybe instead of having inspectors go by themselves, we have inspectors and repair people that will fix the fucking problem. Right? But then you get into, oh, I don't want the government fixing it. You know, I want to go get my own quote. I want to look for my own repair person. Really? Wouldn't we all be better off if when the government found an issue, they just fixed it themselves for free? Wouldn't everyone be in a better fucking spot if we did that? Right, so I just want to, like, what the fuck is this system where we send inspectors, they write up a list of shit that's fucked up, and then they leave without doing anything? Like, you know, isn't it just like, what the fuck? And then again, you have these corporations that just like, oh, we got a citation? Okay, we'll pay it off. And we make more money paying off fines and maximizing our profits. We make more money doing that anyway. So we're not actually going to fix this. Or if we do fix it, we're going to fix it in the cheapest way possible. Right? So again, we just live in this stupid fucking world, you know? Like, you ever think about it? You ever stop and think? You know, you read these fucking goddamn news articles and you're like, what the fuck are these people doing? I mean, seriously. So we have recycling plants, but 95% of the shit that we quote unquote recycle doesn't actually get recycled. So what the fuck's going on there? We build plastics for some fucking reason, even though they're extremely toxic to the environment. By the way, we're in the 6th mass extinction right now, right? And then those people knew that that shit was going to blow up any second now. They did nothing about it. Like, what? And then, all right, we got toxic plumes in the air, but close your windows, everything will be fine. Right? Like, wow. I mean, this is some crazy shit. Like, I personally, I'm at the part in my life, I have completely dejected myself from the rest of the world. I see this stuff, it's like I'm an alien hovering over the earth with that radio tractor beam getting in all the news stories, right? You know, like, whoa, so they have a recycling plant, but they don't actually recycle at the recycling plant. The recycling plant everyone knew was going to blow up any minute. They didn't do anything, then it blew up. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm just, like, every aspect of this story is just, like, it leaves me confused. And then, like, we just wander around the world like this shit is normal. Like, yeah, we'll build recycling plants, which basically are just... Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't recycle. You should recycle anyway, just because the off chance that what you're recycling is actually recyclable is always worth doing it. And, you know, if you know, it's just as easy as getting 2 bins. So I'm not saying you shouldn't recycle. But my point is, why don't we design our plastics to be more recyclable? Why are we even using plastics for food? The idea that we use plastic for food... Like, isn't that fucking insane? We're putting food in plastic. That's crazy. Like, you ever, like, go look at, like, the fucking grocery store and you see, like, 2 liters of soda? Soda sitting in plastic in the hot air. They leave that shit out there when it's hot as fuck. Soda bottles sitting in plastic, right? Unhealthy shit that rots your teeth. Rots you from the inside out, poisons your entire body, and it's soaking in a hot fucking warehouse, bubbling with fucking plastics that are hyper fucking unhealthy and are seeping fucking chemicals into your product that doesn't even need it anymore. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, fuck! But anyway, if you live in Indiana, I guess you're fucked. So... the scenes of black smoke billowing over neighborhoods were eerily similar to the train derailment earlier this year in East Palestine. Residents that were evacuated ahead of the controlled burn by officials. So anyway, how long are they going to be evacuated? They're going to go back before the problem is solved, and then they're going to get cancer, I'm sure. So everybody, hats off. We're living in America, folks. You know that scene in Rocky 4 when he got Apollo Creed up there, and he's living in America? That's us right now, except it's not fun and it's not a great music video. By the way, watch Rocky 4. Anyway, I don't know what the hell is going on anymore, but this whole American experiment, man, not looking so good. Not looking so good from my perch, from where I am located currently. It's not looking so good. So there you go.